That's it. I need to come out of the closet. I'm a Pikmin fan, Charlie. I love Pikmin! And who doesn't now? A niche series turned into one of Nintendo's most popular and well-known franchises. And a lot of credit goes to the fun gameplay, and the quirky enemy designs, and the struggle of living every day in a battlefield as you lead a platoon of carrot people to the front lines. All good stuff. But goddamn, you can't take 2 steps of being a new Pikmin fan without someone saying, so that Picklopedia, am I right? And so that got me thinking. But why though? And I don't think we really give this particular aspect of the game its due, because goddamn, it really does carry a lot of what makes this franchise so great. And that would be flavor text. No, it is not indeed text that you can eat. Disappointing, I know, but essentially it's any text that accompanies an item, tool, town, whatever that doesn't describe its mechanic within the game. For example, let's say we get a fire rod. Regular text in a game would be a rod that shoots fire. Press A to blow fire. While flavor text would be a fire rod used by farmers in clearing the fields. Children love to use it for fun. It's not something you particularly need, but it adds flavor to what otherwise will be a bland soup of a description. Games like Dark Souls use it effectively in order to give hints about relationships and the greater world that you wouldn't know by just playing the game. But I think Pikmin is also a master of this. I mean, one of the biggest compliments from the game is that Olimar is probably the most interesting Nintendo protagonist ever. But if you judge that statement simply on a gameplay aspect, you would honestly look crazy. He never really talked in any of the cutscenes until later games. He has nowhere the same animations that you find in even lesser known games. If anything, it seems like the Pikmin have more personality in how they run around and make these iconic sounds and wails. And there's tons of protagonists who give a ton more personality than this scruffy little guy. So what's the deal? But then, when you collect a ship piece or a treasure, holy cow, you're suddenly given a bunch of words that ultimately don't add anything to the gameplay, but it adds so much to the game. We learn about Olimar's family and why he wants to get off the planet when the simple explanation of, I don't want to die, would have been fine enough. It's even to the point where he admits feeling bad when he causes a Pikmin extinction, calling himself a bad leader. Like, come on, that's, oh my god. And it's great with how these are worded, because if you're spending 30 days left to live and the required part is a gift from your children, that'd be kinda silly. But with the text, I'm able to believe that it feels a lot more significant. Or how about his personal insights in the world around him? It's not just reading a biography of some guy we vaguely met. We are playing as this character as we are learning more about him. And this is expanded so much in Pikmin 2, where we just hear all this man's opinions. We know more than ever about this guy. I'm convinced that if Nintendo wanted to do a podcast with Olimar, you would have an onslaught of Pikmin fans ready and willing to give it a watch. Like, come on, there's so much here that's good. Even from the way these texts are written by themselves helps give some clarity on who Olimar is. I mean, it's hard to hate the thing that makes it canon that Olimar smokes weed. And also, like, look at whatever in Pikmin 1 after you finish the day and see what he writes. And then look at Louis. The simple fact that this guy doesn't write a single report about anything other than food tells me that he's a lazy, and lo and behold, that's exactly what you get. There's a reason why a ton of people remember Olimar compared to any other Pikmin protagonist. And that's not a diss. I'm not about to insult this absolute unit here. I'm just stating as a matter of fact in how Olimar is what makes Pikmin beloved to some extent. All because of the flavor text that started cluing into the life of an ordinary delivery man. I mean, we did get the Picklopedia back in 3 with Deluxe, so that should be good, right? Yeah, we won!
But at what cost?
Yeah, while it's back, it's just not the same. And I think the reason for that is because it's mainly broken up into the professions and not their opinions. Except for Brittany, maybe? But you could have pushed this further. I think Nintendo really missed the point of why people love the Picklopedia. It wasn't the fact that it was a good way of seeing all the items and enemies and such, but it was just an excuse to see this little guy's opinions. And that could have helped make the other captains icons to themselves if we could just learn a little bit more about them. What if Charlie, being the absolute Chad he is, downplays the enemies and says how weak they are, and tips he gives are for more inexperienced captains? Or maybe combine the entries to one single entry and just have a back and forth about their personal lives and such. Kinda like how Splatoon 2 did so with its group chats. Don't lie, you know you read that in a heartbeat. That way, we can touch back to the original Picklepedia and what made them beloved. Hell, I think Hey Pikmin did a better job at that, honestly. Yeah, the side game that no one has anything good to say about it? Well, I do. There's actually a Picklepedia for its treasures, and some of them are really cute. Did you know that Olimar has a snake in his garage because his daughter found it and it was the first time they bonded? Did you know that Olimar's ship is actively looking for love? Did you know that Olimar is actually really good at character analysis? Did you know that he'd actually want to talk to Isabelle? Did you know that every woman he looks at reminds him of his wife? Do you know that he thinks Donkey Kong is an office worker because of his tie? Yeah, they might not reach the peak of weed eater, but I'll be damned if I say that these are not enjoyable. Pikmin 4 is up in the air, so I'll guess I'll see if the Picklepedia is indeed good in that, but it's nice that it's here again at least. But outside of the actual text, in which it's not only adding to what would have been another blank slate character to a fully realized character with likes and dislikes that we never would have known otherwise, but it also gives another good excuse to find stuff. Sure, it's fun to collect things by themselves in the games, but that thought of finding out more about this guy and what he'll think about this thing, or maybe we'll learn more about him? Like, hell yeah, I want to buy an amiibo to see what this guy thinks of an Inkling or Yoshi. It's with this that I think Pikmin could work as a movie, honestly. Because man, I can only imagine how an introspective look into this little guy would go in flashbacks. Wouldn't that be a good way to bring the Picklepedia in spirit in a way? For every part he finds in the movie, it flashes back to him at some point of his life, with his family, or working for his boss, or Louis or something like that. I think it'd be nice. Though, I don't know who would be capable of doing a story like that. I don't know if Illumination might do that. I don't know if other studios might not even want to do Pikmin because... yeah. So yeah, flavor text essentially contributed to one of the best aspects of Pikmin and raised it to a truly memorable part of the series. Alright, gotta run, I want the Oppenheimer!